X-Men, action. What's going on, moviegoers all over the world? My name is Ryan D, aka Ryan680.
I'm Justin at Dose of Stir.
And I'm Steady with the countdown to the Geekcast.
So we're going to be talking about spoilers real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, spoilers, guys. Spoilers. Attention, we are talking about spoilers. Spoilers.
Are we talking about spoilers?
Yep, we're talking about spoilers. It's officially rotten.
I didn't know.
No, I'm just kidding. All right, guys, let's get right to it. So starting off with this, with how Jean Grey's parents and everything, just what did you think about that? Think about that backstory that they filled us in on that.
I felt like it was pretty powerful, as far as showing how strong of a mutant she was at an early age.
Yeah.
I did like how they showed that. Of course, the death of her parents.
Yeah.
That was pretty nice. Car crash scene. Honestly.
Yeah. No.
That was very good.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it was.
It's brutal, is what it was. And this is not the only. It's not the first superhero movie that we've seen starting out with a kid crashing a vehicle with his at least father in it.
Oh,
but
man.
no, I think
spoiler.
I think it was brutal, and in that
spoiler alert. All right.
Just say the word. No. I actually loved the first 15 minutes of this because after that accident scene, we get the whole space scene with Jean and all that, and I was like, this is a solid first 15, 16 minutes of this film. So right now, I'm hooked, I'm engaged, and like he said, probably one of the better car crash scenes that we've ever seen because it was so detailed and it was so brutal. It was showing a lot more than you would expect in a PG-13 movie. Really dancing on the line, on the fence there about how much blood they're willing to show in this first 5 minutes of the movie, right?
What I did love was the introduction of these characters. It felt very smooth. When we first see the X-Men, it's so smooth and it felt so natural in a sense in the beginning. It just felt so natural to where hey, these characters are here. It didn't feel forced whatsoever. I didn't feel like, oh, okay, they're shoving these characters in front of us and then y'all had to like them, accept them and everything. It just felt natural, coming off of Apocalypse and everything, coming off of just that high suspense of a movie, Apocalypse, of what death and everything, what happened in the last movie and everything. So
I still remember what happened in Apocalypse.
I don't think anybody does. And then Xavier erased everybody's minds. And then I did also love how I will say I'll say it again, the opening logo. I love the opening logo of it too as well. The opening logo of just how it's the X-Men and everything, how it showed that. Also what I did love was I'm gonna say this. The music felt very intense at a time. Like it felt very intense and it felt very just at first I was I talked about it on a regular review and everything, but I was just like, it was too intense for too long. I felt like it was way too intense for too long. Like I felt like it was intense for the first whenever even if Jean Grey was on the scene, if she was on camera and the music was going, I felt like that would have been better than having it throughout the whole first or second, halfway through the second act.
I really need to watch it again in my preferred place because.
Like I said, it was just
so
a theater,
hard.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, and the sound system we were in was substandard sound system. There were at times you couldn't hear what the words were. There were at times when you completely lost the action because, like you said, there was a lot of bass missing. Yeah. There should be thumps and the punches need to land harder, but we missed all that because
too much treble, not enough bass.
Dude,
honestly, when this movie first started out, I even went to you. I'm like, dude, is this movie loud? Really loud?
Yeah.
Is it just me? But
honestly,
that's maybe why my review was conflicted. I'm not gonna be 100% on it, but I felt like I didn't fully get the experience that I wanted just because of the sound system of it. It was terrible. I don't like Regal to begin with, but
no, it's all good. We are gonna mention, guys, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna be mentioning, of course, we're mentioning spoilers in here, and so the way the story they set up. Let's be honest. It was a good start. It really was. I felt like this movie when they first introduced the Phoenix and everything, it was a good setup.
Dude, it was
to
beautiful,
capture
dude.
her.
Visually, it was beautiful.
Yes,
dude.
it was really good. That was a good setup. Wow. Okay, let's give him credit on that. That was a great setup to have it to where, because I was all like, why are they going in space? Like, well, because even in the trailers, I'm just like, what are they doing in space? Like, what the heck's going on? But to make it, in a sense, to complete that logic of it, I was like, okay, that works. Yeah. I can make that work. Now the world, ladies and gentlemen, the world trusts mutants. They trust the X-Men, as they trust them so much that even Xavier has its own personal line to the president. That's how crazy it is.
Can I say that it's actually exciting being in the audience, seeing people cheer for the X-Men?
For the X-Men, yeah.
We don't get that a lot, mainly because it's a major plot point of the comics, which is fine. But seeing people and holding up signs with like X-Men people on it, it's exciting and it's actually fun. I'm having a lot of fun through this first act of this movie. Just everything they're putting on screen. So paces well. Visuals are great.
Yeah.
That opening scene was like really dramatic and really kicks you in the gut when you watch it. So as of right now, like I'm having a really good time. Act 1 is done really well.
Yeah, I loved it because they were all a team. It was all a team. It was well trained, as you could tell from the last scene of X-Men Apocalypse actually was them teaming up together and them training. They were training. That was the last scene.
Sure. Whatever you say, man.
Yeah, they erased it. They erased it.
Whatever you say.
All right.
I'm like Olivia Munn was in it. That's all I remember about Apocalypse.
Right. Now let's go and mention the villains. Now we did a little research, guys. So the villains, Ted, do you want to fill us in on the villains real quick?
I think they're calling themselves the Dabari alien race. They first showed up in the 60s in the Avengers comics. They've been used throughout different issues and series. Not a lot though, so it's just one of those Marvel alien races that sits up on the shelf and comes around every now and then.
I guess we could say an unpopular villain in a sense.
Yeah,
when it comes down
to, not a very well known.
Yeah, because we didn't. I'm not gonna know anything about when it comes to Marvel because I'm not the Marvel guy. But that's Justin. I'm just like Justin.
Well, you know, like I'm not like rowdy in depth into a lot of the X-Men comics or just just in depth in general. Like I know the basics and I know minor details here and there. But in all honesty, like the villain choice for this was. I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to pick
weak.
They were trying to pick somebody that like let's pick somebody different.
Okay.
Let's pick something that people don't really use. And they did that. Yeah. And honestly, like my first thought when I first saw them, I was like, are these Skrulls?
Yeah.
I hope not, because Skrulls have that very distinct look. Like even in Captain Marvel, they didn't really nail the look for me.
Yeah.
These like goblins.
These look like that thing from Signs. Actually,
yeah.
You know.
Like or even to a sense, without the changing of the form, whenever they would go to their natural look, it looked like even from I Am Legend, like those zombies, it looked like almost in a sense like that. It kind of threw me off to the bit. I was just like, what the heck? Like,
honestly, like on especially on our little notes paper that we wrote, like one thing I put on there was this whole film like kind of lacks as far as explaining who the main antagonist is.
There you go.
They just say like we're this people,
and that's it.
This was our planet,
and that's it. That's it.
I just like
they don't give us a backstory. Like they give us more of a backstory of Sophia Turner as Jean Grey. That's great. But why are you going to bring in these villains and not explain to us who they are in a sense? Like
you had mentioned there was a lot of reshoots. Is it possible that the story changed? Maybe it was
It was
Maybe it was focused on Sophie the entire time. Like these guys played a very short part in the middle, just like exposition for like what this force is and how it affects her, and then maybe somebody came around and said. No, they're going to be the main villains at the end.
Because there was 3 different reshoots in this in 3 different areas. Because originally this movie was supposed to come out last year, along with New Mutants last year. And then it got pushed back. I think it was questionable that was going to get pushed back again after this release date. This would have been the third time. This would have been the third time that it would have pushed back. So, given the fact of the matter is that. It's just, why was it pushed back? Now we know why. I guess you could say in a sense.
I mean, there could have been multiple reasons why.
Yeah. Sure. And then, but like I said, it was just the lack of, I don't know. I just felt like the reshoots really did. I mean, we don't know what happened in those, what they edited out, what footage. Maybe they explained it in the very first cut of this movie, and then they took it out. So, like I said, just an hour was almost 2 hours long. So I was just like, it is what it is. We got what we got.
I almost think they explain too much, because the first time we see Jessica Chastain talking to like her second command.
Okay,
and she like explains everything in like 2 minutes. Just like, okay, well, we need that power so we can destroy planets and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, that's a lot to tell a guy that probably already knows what you're thinking.
Yeah, and that was the unused dialogue that I was talking about. Like,
keep more of the mystery. Just say like, let's
just
find
leave it
her.
Leave it in a mystery and do it on the
later.
climax. Yeah, do on the climax like they always learn to do that.
It's just funny seeing her like give this guy her second lieutenant, whatever, the entire plan. Like it's just spilling out everything. It's just like that's overkill.
So it's like they did very good storytelling in the first act. In the second act, it became cheesy and it became an amateur almost. Like I felt like the way they were explaining the story was just very, I would say, a very amateur. I would say that. People are probably gonna hate on me on that, but I mean, that's the way I feel. It just felt very like it's like they got lazy writing. I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, honestly, like after so much stuff that was going on, they probably were like, dude, we gotta push this movie out already. Like, we're dragging it too long. And another thing that kind of bothered me about this film was the, of course, spoiler, the death of Mystique.
Okay, yes. So
I felt like it was very unnecessary. Like.
I didn't feel any emotion.
I didn't
whatsoever.
Either.
I was just like, okay, she's gone. Bye. I mean, it wasn't that much. Like you said it. Like they made her the face of the X-Men and everything, and
then they give her like a, okay, bye, you're dead.
See you later. Like it wasn't even.
And then that's it. Like it just felt very short and like
dull.
The only thing that comes to my mind is that Jennifer Lawrence didn't want to come back at all. And this is the only way they convinced her. Yeah. Like, look, we'll kill you in 10 minutes. Just come back, put on the makeup for a little bit. We'll kill you in 10 minutes, and then you can take off. Yeah. Now, it also didn't do anything for me because the director, Simon Kinberg, spoiled it. As soon as the first trailer came out, he did an interview with one of the big magazines, and he spilled it. He's like, oh, yeah, no, that's that funeral. That's Mystique, actually.
Wow, really?
He didn't care.
Oh, wow.
He didn't care. And so I'm like, whoa, okay, I guess we don't need to worry about it. We don't need to don't need to invest that much into her death because the director's already spoiling it for the entire audience. So we just let it go. I just let it go.
Like even without seeing that, like just looking at the trailers to begin with, you see her in a little bit of the trailers, and it kind of like made me think they had to have killed her off. Like when I was seeing the trailers, I was like, there's a reason why she's not there. Like, there's something's going on.
Money, you just can't afford Jennifer Lawrence these days.
And then I just didn't like how Michael Fassbender was just randomly, like, I mean, obviously he was in a government issued land, but I was just like, what the heck is he doing there? Like, didn't he just try to destroy the world, like with that guy? And like, I'm just like, how does he get off so freely? I'm just like, it doesn't make any sense. But then again, it's a world where they love X-Men now, but they love mutants. Well, the mutant X-Men. And I'm going to mention, though, Jennifer Lawrence, I did like that joke a little bit, was how she kept saying, well, women keep saving your butt. I was all like, why don't you call it X-Woman now? Like, what do you think the X stands for? What telling Beast and everything. And so it just, I would agree with y'all on there, too. It's just, I just didn't like Jennifer Lawrence. Her death I didn't feel it. I really didn't feel any emotion towards it at all. And then I guess passing forward all the way, I did love that Nightcrawler scene where he actually came in angry, and man, he was just tearing it up. I was like,
beast mode finally.
Finally. I was getting annoyed because he was like, I'm so scared to teleport. I'm so scared. I was like, dude, come on, bro. Just teleport. Just hurry up. Come on. Like, you'll be fine. Don't worry. Xavier's right there. Xavier's right. And then also, I did love that scene where they're in New York. I guess, are they in New York when they first? Okay, so they're in New York, aka Doctor Strange. They're in New York, and they're actually this fighting scene where like Xavier is like controlling. He's like, I love it because he's like putting his hand out on one side, and he's trying to focus on Storm along with Cyclops is right there, and then they're all like I love it because he's in the fight even though he can't get up for nothing. He's still in the fight no matter what, and I love that so much. The visuals again was very great. I'll say that,
the action scenes sort of always are done well. Yeah. And how we said, or I said in our non-spoiler review, they're just never big enough. They're never extravagant enough. So all the fight scenes, though, like it's entertaining to a certain extent, and all the visuals are great. I'm not wowed by anything.
No,
there's nothing in this movie that we haven't seen in an X-Men film before. Not a superhero film, an X-Men film. Yeah. We've seen it all. Towards the end, I thought we had some really cool things that happened that were spoiled in the trailers.
Yeah.
But, this fight scene is good.
And then I would say
these
again,
aliens are pretty cool.
I would say this also: the conversation between Xavier and Jean Grey when they're in his mind. I like that too. She makes a little joke too. I guess I don't know if it's a joke or not, but I laughed whenever she said, "Are we in my mind?" And I was like, "Yeah, because mine's messed up or something." That was a little funny joke. And then I also did Jessica Chastain. I feel like her talent wasn't necessary for the role she was in. Yeah, I feel like it wasn't like they could have got anybody to do it. I feel like, why did you need Jessica Chastain to begin with? Like, she's known to do those powerful sequence roles that she's always known to be. I mean, I've loved her in Interstellar, even though just so many roles I've seen her in. I loved her in Zero Dark 30. I mean, I could go on and on. And I just feel like her talent wasn't used at all. Like, it was just like I just feel like she was just like reading like literally the words off the script, and that was it. Like, it was just maybe it was just the director Simon Kimber was just like, no, just read exactly how it is. Don't act. That's how I feel like how he was telling her. I was just like, are you serious, Jessica Chastain? This is this is an Oscar nominee talent right here. Like, what the heck? But like I said, just I felt like they could have got anybody else.
It's one of those issues where if you have your villain is some sort of like super intelligent alien race with no emotions, how well is that going to transfer over to on screen? Like, how interesting is that going to be? That's probably one of the main reasons why like Age of Ultron was like making jokes and being sarcastic and all this other stuff. So I see what you're saying. Yeah. The script wasn't really suited for her talents very well.
Exactly.
So.
I'll agree. Yeah, I'll agree on there. So, and then also, the climax of this movie, let's go ahead and talk about that. The visual wise was amazing. I mean, we did see the Phoenix. We did see it. All the fire everywhere, all the fire and brimstone, whatever you want to call it. Like, the whole cosmic being was everywhere. And then she went up to space. That was great. Visually, that was great. And also, I would say this, though. At the very end, whenever she disappears, did you notice how it came out, the wing of the Phoenix came out at the very end, which I did love. That's why I was all like, it was anticlimactic, but I love that.
It explains why Jennifer Lawrence did not want to be in this movie.
Oh my
because
God.
She was not the girl on fire.
Oh,
she was
not. Man, that's Hunger Games fans.
Zing.
Dang.
Damn.
You're gonna get a lot of hate. But
sorry.
So all right.
No. A question now. Since this whole X-Men franchise is done.
Yeah. Well, New Mutants, we don't know how it's gonna happen.
This
okay,
side.
Yeah. This. Yeah.
Who would you keep? Who would you not keep?
I mean,
as far as if the MCU were to decide, let's get this going. Who would you want to keep?
To be honest, I feel like you should not necessarily get rid of James or Michael Fassbender, but I feel like their talent could be used elsewhere, and that they could that's it. It's time to move on. They played this role for I don't even know how many years have they played this role.
Shoot, I can't tell you.
Like four movies. I think four movies, 3 movies, 4 movies, like around because X-Men, Days of Future Past, X-Men First Class, Apocalypse.
So this is their 4th movie.
This is their 4th movie. Yeah, we'll see that. Correct us in the comments down below, ladies and gentlemen, if we got it wrong. But yeah, so it's just I was on board when they restarted this with First Class and everything because they're going back in time to change up everything. Then X-Men Days of Future Past came around and then connected it all kind of in a sense. Not really.
Okay, I guess.
It really didn't, but...
they just retconned everything.
Yeah. So,
It's fine.
I'll be okay with Michael Fassbender and James McAvoy not coming back. I'll be okay with that. I really would. Obviously, Jennifer Lawrence won't come back. Yeah, and Sophia Turner, I think she's done. She wants to. I'm pretty sure she wants to pursue other opportunities elsewhere. When it comes down to, I feel like you should just keep Storm and Cyclops, maybe.
In all honesty,
maybe Beast, depending if he wants.
After seeing Storm in Apocalypse, I want to see the exact Storm, even though I love Halle Berry.
Yeah, Halle Berry.
I want to see the exact Storm be brought back in a perfect time too for Black Panther 2.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh dang, yeah man, get them married, get a wedding going.
Right. You know, I love James McAvoy and everything he's ever done. I mean, even something as zany as like Split, he's asked to be 8, 12 different characters, and he just nails all of them. Mm-hmm. So I can't see anybody else being as good as him trying to be a young Patrick Stewart. Yeah. Because if you notice in this film and the last one, he's very honing in on like Patrick Stewart's tone of voice, his inflections, like all that stuff. So I would like to keep him and Fassbender, and they can grow older with the MCU and all that. They can do that. I don't want this cast as far as the X-Men because they're still really young in my eyes. Yeah. And I don't see how you bounce off a formidable X-Men against the characters already in the MCU.
Yeah. They can't keep Quicksilver.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Which is very true.
Yeah, there you go.
You really have to kind of do a whole like entire switch or a whole entire change. Plus, I do like this X-Men, but I still want Rogue.
Okay.
I still want,
of course,
Rogue, a Gambit of some
sort.
Yes.
Not Channing Tatum. That movie was tossed, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. That movie got tossed.
Give me the original Gambit. Please.
Yeah, the original, not the one from X-Men Origins.
And we've had how many?
I mean, Wolverine. Wolverine Origins.
Wolverine Origins. I do like that Gambit.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Oh my gosh.
I liked him.
You're talking about
Taylor
Kitsch.
Yeah, Taylor Kitsch.
Yeah. I've met him. Very nice guy. He did pretty good in that movie.
I thought he was good.
Okay, well, yeah. Okay, we'll pretend that we'll pretend.
Let's just say he wasn't the worst part of that movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
But
a lot of bad things.
How many movies have we had now? X-Men movies without Wolverine. We need an X-Men team with Rogue, with Gambit, and with Wolverine.
In all honesty, like if they were to tell Ryan Reynolds, hey, you know what? Like if you and your team can like come up with perfect characters, by all means,
do it, man.
I mean, they did a good Colossus.
They did a great Colossus.
Yeah, I liked Colossus,
and they did a great the guy.
Juggernaut. Juggernaut. Yeah. Perfect.
Juggernaut. Holy cow.
Juggernaut, yeah.
You know?
Juggernaut was really good. Oh, man.
It's not like they can't do it. You keep having these people come in that want to, like, let's do something different. Let's try this.
They actually want to do it true. And they're listening to the people, but, big companies, they don't want to do that.
It's time to make movies.
They're looking at that cheddar cheese.
Yeah. You know? And then, ladies and gentlemen. All right, guys, so that concludes our review. So opening this week, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be Secret Life of Pets 2. How well do you think this movie's going to open? You think it's going to be number 1 or at least of the box office? Not coming off after Godzilla, king of the monsters, now king of the highlands.
I don't know what else is opening right now, but Disney has every month like something booked. You got these live action adaptations of these cartoons, and then you got stuff like Toy Story. I think people are saving the money for like the big hitters.
Okay.
So Secret Life of Pets is probably going to suffer a little bit.
Okay.
Agree.
Right. I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm gonna say, the people are gonna see Secret
Life of Pets. We know you're all about it.
No, I'm gonna say people are gonna take their families to go see Secret Life of Pets 2 versus Dark Phoenix, because I've been getting a lot of feedback from people watching the trailers that are not regular moviegoers. They go every now and then. They're all like, "Oh,
so you think it'll take the number 1 spot over Dark Phoenix?"
Yeah, I believe that.
You can take that bet?
No. I believe
you know what? In all honesty, Secret Life of Pets 2. I mean, granted that I'm not a big fan of the original, the first one.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was one of those movies where, like, honestly, I thought it came out already.
Okay, all right, guys. Hey, all right.
And I think Dark Phoenix will take the number 1 spot just because
it's a comic book movie, dude. Yeah. Honestly,
and it'll be one of those same movies where the critics are gonna bash it. The audience score is gonna be higher than the critics. It's not gonna be perfect, but the audience score is going to be a lot higher than what the critics are gonna do to this movie.
All right, well, we'll find out, ladies and gentlemen. All right, guys. So let's end with our rating. Justin, what was your rating?
4.5.
4.5.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
4.5. Yeah, I'll give it 4.5. I'll stay 4.5.
Don't you change it now.
No. Like we discussed, the only thing that kind of makes me want to give it just a half a point higher is just the first 15 minutes of the film.
Okay.
Just how visually stunning it was.
Okay. Yeah. Ted?
Solid first half. The last act it tried to be great, and it was good, really good in some parts. Acting is great. Visuals are great. I like most of the score, what we could hear.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave it a 6. I just think it wasn't the big finish that we probably would have liked to have seen, but it's not on the studio or the writers. I don't blame Simon Kinberg for that. It's just how the dominoes fell for them, I guess.
Yep.
But I give it a 6.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to give this a 5, ladies and gentlemen. Just like I said, it felt anticlimactic, unused, too much dialogue, too much unnecessary dialogue. I'll say that. Alrighty, guys. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. You can call Ryan680.
I'm Justin, that dose of stir.
And again, steady with the countdown to the Geekcast.
Thanks for coming by, Ted. I appreciate it, buddy. All right, you have yourself a wonderful day, man. When are you going to come back again? You coming back already, back to back?
Whenever you're done with Secret Life of Pets review, I'll be back.
Okay, all right, guys. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for making us a part of it.